Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's second video. We're doing the 6th Summer 2021 update for today's second video. So here we go, it's Sunday, and it's time to bring you another long-range update. And this time we're bringing you the 6th Summer 2021 update. We're going to look at some March data, finish off the March data really, with a bit of pack matching. And then we're going to begin April data. It's going to be great, it's going to be fantastic. And I shall get on with it for you very shortly. Just say that first video release was a nice little 7 AM upload, so just a couple of minutes forecast release, nice little early riser at 7 AM. So check out that one if you'd like to do that. We're going to have GavsWeatherVids Sunny Roundup coming up for you around or just after lunch. And they're going to be live streaming from 6 o'clock. So I shall see you live at 6, and we're going to have a bit of a laugh, going to have a bit of fun, and we'll show you some CFS data on the live stream tonight. So that's going to be great, and that's going to be from 6 o'clock. Thank you so much to Shryan for all of the help getting all of this stuff together for this update. So Shryan has helped me a lot with this one. Thank you so much to Shryan, bro. Thank you so much to Terry as well, of course. Terry Scully, the long-range forecaster. And, of course, thank you so much to Rich as well. Thank you so much to my good friend Richard Trott for the fantastic Summer 2020 updates gift. I love it. I love this gift. Go shoot. Gonna shoot down to the beach. I love it. Thank you so much, Rich, for taking us down to the beach, and hopefully we will be able to get on the beach and go shoot ourselves. Hopefully we'll be able to do that in the summer itself, if the weather gods are smiling on us. But thank you so much to Shryan. Thank you so much to Rich, to Terry, to everybody, really. It's fantastic. It's amazing. Thank you so much to all of you. Right, so let's get on with these 6 summits. We're going to have a laugh. So we're going to have a laugh on this one. Excuse me. Right, so let's have a look at March's 500 millibar high dominant. Here we go then. Calm down, Gav, calm down, do the day job, be sensible, this is the 500 millibar height anomaly for March 2021, showing an area of above average heights almost over the top of the UK, just a little bit to our north, below average heights extending down into the north and the east of Europe. So yeah, we're doing something like this with the jet, I would have thought. So jet's going a little bit like that. Pretty cold signal for eastern northeast Europe, and under this ridge of high pressure, of course, we have quite a lot of dry and fine weather. So myself and Shryan have gone back through the archives, and we tried to pick out the closest years that we think are closest to this. Now, you're never going to get a 100% like-for-like match with pattern matching, because every month is unique unto itself. You know, every month is doing its own thing. So you're never going to get a complete like-for-like match. These are the closest that we think we have found. So let me know in the comments which years you think are the closest to March 2021 in terms of that 500 millibar height on it. The first year we picked out is 1854, March 1854. This is it, with, let's change the colour, high pressure centred almost over top of the country and extending a little way north as well. Trough of below average heights into the east of the northeast Europe. There's also a trough over here in northeast parts of America, so the jet stream will be doing something a little bit like that. So let's compare the two. So that's March 1854. This is March 2021. What do you think about that, everybody? Let me know in the comments what you think about that one. Right, that's that one. We've also picked out March 1893. This one, again, with above average heights over UK and Europe, below average heights extending down into the east of Europe and in the Atlantic as well. Jet stream will be doing something a little bit like that in March 1893. Go back to March 2021. What do you think about that, everybody? Let me know in the comments what you think. Can see the similarity, can't you? Although America is quite significantly different on that one. But let me know in the comments, everyone. Right, the next one we've picked out is March 1929. This one, again, with high pressure above average height, centered over UK going northwards, below average heights extending into the north and east Europe. Again, America has quite a lot of low pressure, though. That's the one thing that's a bit different to this year. Let's compare the two. So this is March 2021. That is going to be March 1929. I don't even know what I'm saying. So there we go. That's how they compare. Again, let me know, everyone, in the comments. This is the next March we picked up, which is March 1945. This one, again, with the above average heights over UK, central north. We've got this trough below average heights into the north and east of Europe. There's higher pressure into America with this one as well. The flow and the jet will therefore be doing something a little bit like that. Let's compare them. Let's compare. No, we don't want that. Let's get rid of that. Let's compare them. This is March 2021. And that is March 1945. I think that's pretty good. I think that's a good match. I like that one. I like that one a lot. That is a good match, I think, 1945. But again, let me know in the comments which years you prefer. This is March 1953. And this one, with high pressure over the top of the UK, lower pressure into the north and east of Europe, some higher pressure over in North America, and lower pressure down towards Spain. Let's compare them. So this is March 2021. This is March 1953. I can see the similarity there, but that's not quite as good as some of them. But there is a definite similarity, I think, with that one. Long gap then to March 2003. So this is March 2003 with above average height centered just to our east, lower pressure up to the northeast and in the Atlantic as well. Let's compare these two. Yeah, again, definitely there is a similarity, isn't there? I'm less keen on that one on March 2003, but I can see the similarity. Please let me know in the comments which years you prefer. And then this is March 2012. March 2012, again with the above average heights almost over top of the country, lower pressure to our east and northeast, and also over in North America as well, and some low pressure in the Atlantic. Jet stream wind flow will be doing something a little bit like that. Again, let's compare them. That's March 2021. This is March 2012. 2021, 2012. I quite like that one. I think that one's pretty deep. Certainly for North America, Western Europe. Maybe the trough not quite as deep into the east and northeast of Europe, but I think that one is a pretty decent one as well. Again, you'll never get a 100% like-for-like match, so you're just looking for the closest with this. Anyway, that's all of them done. So now we'll have a look at the summers that followed those March pattern matches. Please let me know in the comments which years you prefer for the pattern match to March 2021. Right, so this is the summer of 1854 with above average heights, high pressure to our north, below average heights to our south, winds in from the east. This looks like would be a very easterly summer, probably quite a wet summer for the south, maybe quite a volatile summer, probably quite a warmish, volatile, potentially thundery sort of summer. Next up, you have the summer of 1893. This one has higher pressure to our north and northwest, lower pressure is to our south and in the Atlantic as well. Winds again probably quite easterly with this summer, but rather unsettled. Again, maybe quite volatile in the summer of 1893. Summer of 1929 is our next pattern match summer. So this one just looks very, very unsettled. This is a cool and wet summer, really, with winds sending in from the north. That's a very poor summer in 1925. 1929, I should say. 1945 is our next summer. This is quite a warm, warmish sort of summer, but also unsettled with lower pressure to our south. Some higher pressure is up to the north in the summer of 1945. Our next summer is 1953. This is a cool and wet summer. Low pressure in off the Atlantic, high pressure up towards the north of Scandinavia around Svalbard. And that leads us bringing it. Has anybody ever said Svalbard? Like that? I don't think so. You don't hear that on the BBC. This is summer 1953. Looks very cool and unsettled in the summer of 1953. Right, our next one, long gap through the summer 2003. This is a classic hot one. This is our last hot August. So this is hot on and off throughout the whole summer, but it has a real intense heat wave in the first sort of 10 days, couple of weeks of August of 2003. So last time we had an August with an 18 Celsius, see the reason it would be so hot with low pressure in the Atlantic, a deep trough, in the middle of the Atlantic, high pressure as like a wall of high pressure through Europe, and that draws up the wind from the south. So regular hot plumes in the summer of 2003, very hot summer, culminating in our last very, very hot August. And then completely the opposite, we have the summer of 2012, that's our last summer with these March pattern matches. This one has northern blocking around Greenland, and it has this trough of low pressure pretty much parked over top of the UK for that whole summer. And so that is our last sort of deluge washout type summer, actually, in 2012. The last time you would probably say we had a deluge from more or less beginning to end, although it did pick up a little bit in August. But, you know, it was a deluge summer. Certainly June and July were deluge months, and that's probably the last time you would say we had a deluge summer 9 years ago in 2012. Right, so let's put all of those summers together, and this is how all Junes combined are looking, and let's be honest, it's not great for anyone who wants a hot June. This is about as bad as it gets. We've got low average heights in the Atlantic into northern Europe. We've got blocking in the Arctic. Look at that. Big levels of high latitude blocking in the Arctic. So a cool and wet June there to start us off. July doesn't get much better. Again, we've got high pressure around Greenland, low pressure underneath it. There's a deep trough over top of the UK. Jet stream shoved down here somewhere, and we're drawing in sort of east or northeasty winds. So a cold and wet July is expected there. With our March pattern matches. Does it get any better for August? Actually, it does a little bit. And this could be primarily down to what we see in 2003, although maybe some of these other Augusts aren't too bad. So this one does change the pattern anyway. In August, we get some higher pressure reaching down from the north into west of Europe, lower pressure weakening to the east and the west. That's by far the best of it. After a really grim June and July, that is by far the best of the 3 summer months in August, with a lot of fine weather. Probably not overly warm. I think the wind is more or less coming in from the north with a lot of those Augusts. But nevertheless, that's by far the best of it. The summers overall with March pattern matches are not great, let's be honest. We've got blocking around Greenland and Iceland. We've got low pressure in of the Atlantic. Jet streams coming in as well. A cool wet summer is signalled overall, but particularly so for June and July. August does get a little bit better. Okay, so we're going to pause the video there, pause the update there. You go and get yourself a cup of tea, or a cup of coffee, or, you know, maybe something a little bit stronger, whatever you like to sup on while you're watching our summer updates. And we're going to be back in a couple of seconds, and then we're going to begin looking at some April data, and more about that after the break. But you go off and stretch your legs, and I'll see you back here in around 2 seconds. See you soon. Okay, we're back, and we're ready to bring you the rest of our 6th summer 2020 update. What do you think so far, everybody? Let me know in the comments what you think. Please like the video, share the video, subscribe as well. We're trying to get the subscribers to 11k, and it's a grind. It's one hell of a grind to get the subscribers to 11k, but we will do it in the end. It might take me until 2024, but we will get the subscribers to 11k in the end. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Right, so before we left off, before we had a little break, we was looking at the end of March 8th, so that closing the door on March now. That's March 21 done and dusted in terms of these summer updates. Now it's time to begin thinking about April, because we can't do any more for March, so that's it. So now it's time to start thinking a little bit about April. So what we're going to look at with this one is precipitation. Now, it may seem early doors for that, because it's only like the 25th of March when you are watching this video, but we can see that we have an exceptionally dry March. So this is the UK rainfall amount from the 1st to the 18th of April. And look at this, as a percentage of average, virtually all parts of the country, from East Scotland all the way down to southern England, have had 20% or less of their average rainfall. It's been exceptionally dry with this April, what I'm talking about. It's been exceptionally dry April. Now, we are going to get a little bit of rain coming in the next few days. Not a huge amount, but there's going to be a little bit of rain coming in the next few days. However, that will not be enough to offset how dry this has been. And this April will undoubtedly be within the top 20 driest for England and Wales precipitation. We don't know where it's going to fit in within that top 20. I would have thought it's likely to certainly be top 10, may even be top 5. We'll have to wait and see. But it will certainly be within the top 20, definitely. Driest Aprils for England and Wales precipitation. So very simply, we are going to look at summers following the top 20 driest Aprils for England and Wales precipitation. In case you was wondering what the P was. So here we go, man. At number 20, we've got 1997. So April 1997 was the 20th driest for England and Wales precipitation. This is quite a hot summer. It's a strange summer. It has high pressure over Scandinavia, bringing in lots of hot easterly winds, especially in August. But it's also very volatile. Real volatile summer with sort of low pressure south, bringing lots of rain. It's a very wet summer. And again, particularly so in August, when there are huge numbers of thunderstorms, but also within like the melting pot of heat and humidity as well. It's one of the hottest Augusts on record, and it's also one of the wettest as well. Very thundery, volatile August. And overall, the summer is like that as well. It does have quite a cool wet June though. Right, at number 19, in terms of the top 20 driest Aprils, we've got 1873. This is a much cooler and unsettled summer. So, 1970 is unsettled, but this is also unsettled, but it's cooler, with winds in from the west with this one. So that is a cool and unsettled summer. Our next summer is 1870. At number 18, we've got high pressure out to our west and north. Low pressure is across Central Europe. So this is probably quite a dry summer, as the Atlantic is blocked off, but is I would have thought, pretty cool summer. So that's one of those unusual combinations of dry and cool. And normally if summer is cool, it'll be wet. If it's dry, it'll be hot. But you can get deviations from that and various other scenarios. This is one of the more unusual ones for summer, which is dry but also cool in the summer of 1870. At number 17, we've got 1852. This is a very wet and poor summer. Deep trough low pressure, again, parts itself over top of the UK. So, number 17 is a little bit of a washout type summer. At number 16, 16th driest April was 2017, only a couple of years ago. So this is the summer of 2017. This is quite an unsettled summer again, with low pressure in off the Atlantic, high pressure across much of Europe, though. So much of Europe has a hot summer, but we turn cool and unsettled. We do have a very warm start to the summer, and then it sort of deteriorates. What's called a front-loaded summer. Starts dry, warm, hot in the early part of the summer, and then deteriorates as the summer goes along. At number 15, we've got the summer of 1855. This one has quite a bit of northern blocking, high pressure over Scandinavia, and going north as well. Looks like we're bringing an easterly wind. I mean, summer's easterlies can be warm, but I rather suspect that could be a pretty coolish sort of summer in 1855. Our next summer at number 14, and look at this, it's the daddy! It's the daddy! It's the daddy! It's the daddy of hot summers. It's 1976. I am your father. Yes, it's the daddy of hot summers. It's 1976. What a build-up was that, everyone? What do you think to that? Let me know in the comments. Here it is. Here is the summer of 1976, a daddy of hot summers. Let me know, everybody, what you thought of that. So you can see why it's my daddy. It has this big area of high pressure over top of the UK and Northern Europe as well. I did not know I was going to do that. Spur of a moment. I'm going to cringe in the morning. I'll be cringing in the morning. High pressure is sitting over until the northern country winds are in from the east. And so it's a very, very hot summer, also exceptionally dry. And it follows the 14th driest April for England and Wales P. What do you think about that, everybody? It's the second time we've seen the daddy this season of summer updates. What do you think to that one? Right, so we go on to the summer of 1930. No, we don't. We're at number 13. We go on to the summer of 1980. And we have deep low pressure over top of the UK and Northern Europe. High pressure is blocking from Greenland to Scandinavia, just in short southwards as well. What a poor summer that was in 1980. I'm so sorry, everybody. At number 12, we've got the summer of 1844. This is a very bad summer as well, with deep low pressure over the top of the UK and blocking combined. That's going to be a cold and wet summer. Winds will be in from the east. Our next summer is number 11. In terms of dry April, it's the 11th driest April. It's the summer of 1954. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. One of the worst summers of the 20th century, probably. Sending jets southwards, deep trough of low pressure. If 76 is like the daddy of hot summers, this is probably the daddy of cold and wet summers. Although 1912 is probably even worse. At number 10, we've got 1974. This one looks pretty grim too. Look at this, low pressure from the Atlantic into Europe. That looks pretty bad. Then we've got we're into top 10 now, into top 10. Number 9, we've got the summer of 1842. This looks like a better summer. Above average heights, high pressure to our northern over country, winds in from an easterly direction. The summer of 1842 should be drier and warmer. Then we've got the summer of 1854 at number 8. 8th driest April for England, Wales, precipitation. Summer of 1854. This one with high pressure to the north, low pressure is to the south, winds in from the east. Looks like it would be quite a volatile summer. Could be rather thundery. At number 7, we've got the summer of 2011. April 2011 was, in fact, the 7th driest April for England and Wales precipitation. This one again, with low pressure centred over the UK and Ireland, combined with blocking to the north. So that's going to be, that was a cool and quite unsettled summer, though it wasn't a deluge. So it looks like it should be a deluge, but it wasn't a deluge, but it was cool and it was quite unsettled at times. This is a rather better summer. It's summer of 1984. We haven't seen anything decent summer really since 76, but this was a rather better one. 84 does have a lot of dry and quite warm weather on offer, and it's in there at number 6. Number 5, the 5th driest April for England and Wales precipitation was 2007. Look how the summer of 2007 comes out. It's a deluge. High pressure blocking around Greenland, low pressure shoved southwards, Jetson shoved southwards as well. You'll probably expect it to be even worse than that. Be worse than that. With that trough of low pressure, but it did pick up a little bit and dry out a little bit in August, so that sort of skews things. But from May to July, it was an absolute deluge, and the rain did carry on into August to some degree. At number 4, we've got the summer of 1893. We saw it earlier on, it's back again. Higher pressure to our north and northwest, lower pressure to our south and southwest. So this one, we're bringing in a wind from like a northerly direction or an easterly direction quite a bit. I think it's quite a warm summer, but it is volatile. Right, we're going top 3 now. Number 3, 3rd driest April for England Wales precipitation was 1957. This one has a hot start. It has a hot June. Front loaded. It's front loaded, so it has a hot spell in June, and then it goes down the pan, goes down the pan big time in the second half of the summer, turning cool and wet through July and August. But it does have a hot spell in June of 1957. Right, top 2. Look at this, at number 2. The 12th driest April for England and Wales precipitation. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. It was 1912. And so if 76 is the daddy of hot summers, 1912 is the daddy of bad summers. You know, this is as bad as it gets. It's probably the worst summer of the 20th century, certainly the worst August of the 20th century. If it can go wrong, it does go wrong. Deep trough low pressure in the Atlantic into the UK and West Europe. Masses of northern blocking as well. It's just a cold and wet summer in 1912. And then we've got one more to show you. At number one, the driest April for England and Wales precipitation, which does go back to 1700s, by the way. The driest April is 1938. Look at this. It's another bad summer. Another bad summer with deep low pressure again over the UK and Western Europe. High pressure is pulled away from us into the North Atlantic. That's the Azores High, but it's nowhere close enough to us to do anything decent in terms of bringing warm, dry weather. And so this is just a cool and wet summer in 1938, and it does follow the driest April on record for England and Wales precipitation. Right, let's start putting all of that together then. This is how all Junes combined are looking, following the top 20 driest Aprils, unsettled, deep low pressure over the UK in combination with high pressure blocking a cool and wet signal to start us off. This is how all Julys combined are looking, and it's bad again. Look at this. It's again following the top 20 driest April's blocking around Greenland. Low pressure over Western Europe, wind in from the east. So despite having 76 within this package of analogs, despite having the daddy in there, nevertheless, overall, it's a cold and wet signal for both June and July. What happens in August? It doesn't get much better, I'm afraid. This is how all August combined are looking, following the top 20 driest Aprils. Tend to have high pressure to the north. Low pressure is to the south. Winds are in from an easterly direction. So yes, it's a cool and a wet signal for those August. That might be the warmest of the months though, because it probably brings in an east wind, which can be warm in August, but again, wet and volatile. Volatility would be expected. That's how all summers combined are looking, following the top 20 driest Aprils. And yeah, blocking is to the north. Low pressure parts as a trough over UK. Overall, it is a cold, wet thing. What happens if we narrow things down to just look at the years post 1950? Here we go then. This is how all Junes combined are looking, following the top 20 driest Aprils post 1950. Unsettled, low pressure across the West Europe, high pressure blocking to the north. It's gesturing us down here. It's a cool and wet signal still for those August. All Julys combined post 1950, following the top 20 driest Aprils. Northern blocking around Greenland and Iceland. Low pressure across northern West Europe. Winds in from the east and from the northeast. It's not getting any better, everybody. It's not getting any better. Cold and wet for those Julys. This is how all August combined look post 1950. And this is probably the best of the bad bunch. Higher pressure is to the north now. Lower pressure just a little bit further southwards. Winds in from the east. It's a strange anomaly, but that's probably the best of it. But even that is not great, and you would expect quite a lot of unsettled weather in there, unfortunately. And then finally, we see how all summers combined are looking, following the top 20 driest Aprils for England and Wales precipitation post 1950. Northern blocking around Greenland up to the Arctic. Low pressure across northern and west Europe. Winds in from the east. It's a cool and wet signal overall for those summers, following the top 20 driest Aprils post 1950. And we're done. What did you think to that, everybody? What did you think to that? Interesting, wasn't it? Yeah, so there's been a lot of speculation, about summers following dry Aprils. And so hopefully we've answered it. Hopefully we've answered that. The overall, a dry April looks like it's a pretty bad signal. Really, for summer. It looks like it's a pretty grim signal when you have a dry April, and you definitely favour an unsettled, potentially very unsettled or even washout type summer. But, there are exceptions. There's 84 in there, which was a nice summer, and there is also, of course, the daddy is in there as well. So we can't completely rule out the chance of a very hot summer, of a curveball, but that clearly, you have a dry April that is clearly favouring It's clearly favouring a bad summer. Right, so that's it then for this one. I hope you enjoyed. Please smash that like button. If you did, let us know in the comments what you think. There's a lot to digest with this, a lot to discuss, a lot to talk about. So let me know in the comments later on. And I'm going to see you after 6 o'clock for our live stream. But before then, we've got GavsWeatherVids Sunday Round. I'll be cringing in the morning. GavsWeatherVids Sunday Roundup coming up for you. Around just after lunch. And then I'll be live streaming at 6 o'clock. And you're all going to be wondering what the hell was going on when he was doing this summer update. I know you will. So I'm going to see you live at 6. But Sunny Roundup before then. Video will be placed on the summer active page at GavsWeatherVids.com, by the way. But that page will be going away in a few days' time. Right, next week we'll do April temperature data, of course, CT data and whatnot. So that'll be interesting too. Okay, right, so that's it for the 6th Summer 2020 update. That's all for now. And thanks for watching. See you later for Sunny Roundup and also for the live stream. Bye for now.